The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to the first Robotics Canada Ask the Expert webinars. These are going to be weekly webinars targeted to the FRC community, and they're held every Tuesday at 7 o'clock at night. Look for the links in the FRC Canada Team Blast or on the First Robotics Canada Facebook page or on their social media. And welcome to those of you who found us tonight. I'm your moderator, Sarah Sills. I've been involved with FIRST for about 10 years, and most recently I've become a FIRST senior mentor. My goal tonight is to help you get the most from this event, and tonight I'm going to be joined by guest expert Sam Tebbit from SWAT 771. Just some logistics. You've entered the webinar on mute, so I recommend you stay muted to improve the audio quality for everyone. If you have any questions, though, at any time, just raise your hand, electronically to be noticed, or type your question in the question box and we'll address them during the webinar. In the future, we're hoping to involve as many teams as we can in these webinars as experts. The webinars generally will follow the following format, although not tonight, but generally we'll start with FRC news. We'll have a first topic, take some questions, a second topic, and take some questions. And it'll take an hour maximum out of your night. Sometimes they're a little shorter. The topics will cover a variety of technical and non-technical themes. So watch your upcoming FRC Team Blast to see the sign up where you can sign up for topics of your choice. So I know that all our teams have strengths that we can share, and together we'll be stronger. So I recommend you to sign up once you see that link. So I'm going to go on to some news updates. Just tonight, our agenda is we're going to do a couple of news updates and then go through the various off-season events. The first 4 have already happened, so just a little overview on what happened there, so you're aware of them. And the last 2 are upcoming, so we want to get you some current information. So the news, hot off the press, there is going to be a youth summit this year. This is brand new, and FIRST is putting it on for team members. And they're asking 2 team members per team can attend. So the purpose of it is to give students a voice, and there's a number of topics that they're going to try and tease out during the day through activities, speakers, and panel discussions. It's going to take place up at the Kingbridge Centre, which is near Canada's Wonderland. And anyone who's on an FTC team or an FRC team is invited to apply, but we're putting the limit at 2 students per team. The link is shown below if you copy it down or if you check it out on YouTube after. Also, you can find it on the First Robotics Canada website under news because it's hot off the press. Also, I think last week John Hobbins mentioned Hobbins homework, so I thought I would just remind us of that. He's recommending, or the FIRST community is recommending, that we select a student on each team to be like a team communication officer. You can give it whatever name you want. And we're recommending we use a standard format if possible, and that would be FRC and then whatever your team number is @gmail.com, and that just makes managing it a little easier from the First Robotics Canada side of things. And the idea with that is that the Team Blast currently go to mentors, and we know mentors can be very busy, and they have a lot of things that they have to track. So if the team communication officer on the team were to also get the First Canada Blast, they might be able to help disseminate that information to the team, so helping out their mentors. So that's all the news, that I thought to bring up tonight. So just to go through briefly some of the events that have happened. In the summer, August 23rd to 25th, there was Robots at CNE, so that's the Canadian National Exhibition. It was hosted by 1334 and 1374 out of Oakville, and there were 26 teams that competed. It was over a couple of days, so they had to do an interesting format to determine winners, but the winners are shown right there. You might be thinking to yourself, 9995, who are they? And that was a team from New Hampshire that was put together just to come to competition, which was kind of cool because it made it international. And there were many awards. So I didn't list them all because it happened over 3 days and there were awards each day. But it was, the purpose really was fun. You can see the hamster on the robot. It just, to have fun and get, more people aware of the program in Canada. Then at the end of September, there was a Gateway Conference up in North Bay. And that was hosted by 1305 Ice Cubed. And there were a number of attendees from that area. So it was kind of a northern conference. And there was randomly a mentor from Calgary that was there as well, which was interesting. And they covered a variety of topics. So they covered topics like true colors, which helped with team communication, and networking, awards, shared values, and drive team selection. So that was interesting. And then after, or as a break from the topics, we got to have a tour of the Canadore College Aviation Center. So we saw some neat helicopters and air transport vehicles. It was very interesting. So that was a great tour and nice support from Canadore College, a sponsor. That same weekend down in Stony Creek, so sort of a different part of the province, there was the 2056 Ways to Inspire conference. 2056 sponsors that one or hosts it. And they had about, I would guess maybe 20 or 30 teams there. I don't have the actual numbers on that. And they ran about 18 workshops. They covered a variety of topics on some technical ones like electrical, mechanical, and elementary robotics, as well as team management, elementary robotics strategy, and some other workshops, including some 2056 related ones. So that was a great opportunity for students to share their learning. Then we had our first robot competition during the school year. That was on October 26th over in Windsor. So it was just last weekend. It was hosted by 772, which is Saber Bytes. And they had 20 teams participating in that. And that was a robot competition. They did a replay of Deep Space, and there were a number of awards given out at that. And because it just ran, I don't have all the results. Sadly, I wasn't at that event. I heard it was great fun. But I do know that one of the winners, I can only give some information because social media told me, and I presume it's true, that one of the winners was 4903, the Mustangs, and one of the finalists was the host, 772 Saber Bytes. They also gave out awards for Best Robot, Best Rookie, and Gracious Professionalism. So, chat with somebody from 772 if you want to know what's going on. Now I have Sam Tebbit with me today, and she's going to talk a little bit about SwapOzium. We'll take a little bit longer on these because these next two things we're going to speak about are happening coming forward. So you'll need some information in order to be able to participate. So I'm going to unmute Sam so she can talk with us. And I'll let her do her introductions. There's a few things on the screen you can see already. And go ahead, Sam.
So hi everyone, my name is Sam Tebbit and I am a part of SWAT 771. I've been on the team for 3 years. My first year, I helped out with game pieces. My second year, I was our junior awards lead. And this year, I am our awards lead and one of our chairman's presenters. So today I'm going to give you a little bit of information about our annual event, SwapOzium. This event has been running for 9 years, and it is a conference attended by over 200 people from Canada and the US. The idea of SwapOzium is to bring together students, mentors, and industry professionals of FIRST to essentially learn from each other and share knowledge and network. And throughout the day, we have a variety of workshops and panels that are presented by both members of SWAT 771 and members of other teams around the country. So this year, SwapOzium is this Saturday, November 2nd, at St. Mildred Lightbourne School in Oakville. In addition to all of our workshops and panels, we have a keynote speaker. This year, our speaker is Stephanie Thompson, who is an engineer at General Motors, so that's very exciting. And we also have about 35 teams that are expected to attend. And throughout the day, we have 30 workshops that you're able to choose from depending on your interests. And at the end of the day, we have a social, which is basically a networking session where you get to unwind, talk to other teams, and eat cake, which is one of the more fun parts of the day. So the workshops that we offer all fall under categories of mechanical, FLL and FTC, electrical and programming, awards and business, team strategy and scouting, and alternate options. So some of the workshops we offer talk about leadership or mental health. Others dive into certain mechanisms about robotics and also give general overviews or introductions. So there's really whatever level of knowledge you have, there's something for you at SwapOzium. And so there is really something for everyone, and it's a truly valuable day where you can learn and teach others. To give you a quick overview about the schedule, we have registration in the morning and then our opening speaker, Stephanie Thompson, and our workshops, we have the option where you can either do 2 40-minute sessions or 1 90-minute session. Then we have our lunch, and in the afternoon, we have more workshops again, where you can again choose to either do 2 40-minute sessions or 1 90-minute session. You can't do a 90-minute session and 1 40-minute session. It has to be one or the other. At 2:15, we have our closing, and then at 2:30 is our social, which, as I said before, is like a great big networking session, and it's tons of fun. And then it's the end of our day. So just to reiterate, SwapOzium is on November 2nd from 9 a.m. to 3:30. It's on 1080 Lynbrook Road in Oakville. If you see on the presentation here, there's a link where you can view the workshop descriptions and another link where you can register. This information can also all be found on our website and social media. So it's going to be a really great day where a whole bunch of people come together and we learn about the STEM community, and it's a very beneficial experience. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sam. And I think you want to probably remind people why they want to sign up early. What's the benefit?
Well, when you sign up early, you get more of a choice about your workshop selection, and it also helps out on the day of. You won't have to wait in as long of a line, and it's just a whole bunch of less confusion.
And it helps SWAT know how much food to have on hand for you, so that's good.
Yes, that is
there anything they should bring on the day?
Just bring yourselves, bring if you'd like a notebook, if you want to take notes. We are offering a lunch for $6, so if you're interested in that, then bring a little bit of money, and that's about it.
Excellent, thanks so much. I'm just going to have a look for questions to see if we have any questions today. I know that you've been very informative and most of the information is online, so I don't see anything right now, but feel free to reach out to SWAT. They have their email address or their information up on socials, so feel free to follow up with them if you have questions, and hopefully we'll see you there. It's always a great event, so I'm looking forward to it myself. Great. I'm going to continue on with Stemley Cup. That'll be the last of our events with robots. So that's on November 9th, and it's in Hamilton area. The teams hosting it are 4039 Makeshift and 5406 Celtex. There are 30 teams currently signed up for day one, and this year it's super exciting. They had so many people sign up, they decided to go to a second day. So it's now a 2-day event, and the second day they're running with 16 teams so far. And I don't know if there's extra room, but I know how to get a hold of them if you want to still try and get your team involved. That also is a robot competition like Southwest International just was, and they'll be playing the Deep Space game, and they have a number of awards available at their event too. So because it's a 2-day event, let's talk a little bit about their scheduling. They have registration and load in the night before, if that is easier for you, because on the Saturday, things start bright and early. So at 7 o'clock, you're walking through the door and getting ready to play. There's a driver's meeting at 8. They're doing some opening ceremonies. I think they have some interesting things planned, and then they start playing games. There is a lunch break, and then afternoon there's some more qualifications before they go into alliance selection, and then there's elimination after that. The pits close at 6:30 and you're out at 7, so just a beautiful 12-hour day. So that'll be fun and exciting. And then the next day they do it all again. They're calling it Overtime Sunday, and again 7 a.m. start, and then they'll continue to run the same schedule as before. So oops, sorry about that. So then they do the same thing. They have a lunch break, and then they go on to the alliance selection, elimination, and awards, and they're done by 6:30, 7 o'clock. Everybody's out so they can clean up and get ready for school the next day. But that sounds really great. And another thing I wanted to mention there is the awards are all voted by the teams that are in attendance. So they kind of run the awards a little bit different, and you can see they've given them some different names too. So that's pretty good. I like they have descriptions too, because I wasn't sure I would know that the square root slapshot was the best offensive robot, although it kind of makes sense when you think about it. And I like that there's the frictionless face-off. I always like when the coders get a chance to be celebrated. And the hip check award for imagery, I think that's a pretty cool name. Maybe FRC should be thinking about it. And hat trig is just good wordplay. So there's a number of awards that you can look forward to in trying to achieve or celebrate. So any of these events, I'm just going to say in general, the reason we were running the off-season webinar tonight was we wanted to let people know what was available, because we wanted people to know that it's a great way to prepare your team for the season. So First Robotics Canada has information on their website, but I would say the reasons you would go to an off-season event is to prepare your team. So the conferences and symposiums are just a great way of teaching and training your team members, whether they're rookies and it's all new and they have a lot to learn, or veterans that want to learn about a different aspect of the team or take their learning a little bit farther or share their learning. I think it's awesome that these conferences encourage students to present to their peers about the things that they've learned. So it's just an option to do all the teaching and training. The competitions, the hype that's involved is awesome, because you might have people new to your team that have signed up. They've heard it's supposed to be good, but so far they've just been attending meetings and people are talking about fun, but you don't really see how it's going to play out. When you take them to a robotics off-season event, all of a sudden they get it. So it's not as big as the actual competitions, but you've got the hype, the excitement, the alliances and working with other teams, and all of a sudden you've got your rookies fully locked in, the veteran members of the team are able to, reconnect with all their robotics friends, because it is a community. And so all of these are just ways to build that community and learn from each other. And one other thing I would say about off-season events with your robot is it's a chance to give other people a turn, I guess, to explore different aspects of the team. So sometimes teams will put different people or new people in different roles. It's a good time maybe to try an all-girls drive team, or to, think about, including people that might not have been included in what they thought they wanted. So, they can try something out, and there's less risk because, it's not impacting the team's overall progression towards the competition. If you don't do quite as well, it's not a big loss, so it's just a great opportunity, a little less risk at the events. So that's pretty much what I was going to say tonight. It's a pretty quick webinar tonight. The reason we're still kind of getting geared up as we're waiting for the information to get out to all the teams. So we're hoping to get more teams involved with presentations. Thank you, Sam, for being here with us today. I really appreciate that, and kind of giving the flavor of what we're trying to get to with having teams involved. Our next one, however, is breaking the mold. It will not be with a team. We've invited Jess to come speak with us about SHAD. And you see a brief description about SHAD below. I've noticed just the synergy between SHAD principles and kind of the overall global experience to be very similar in a lot of ways to FIRST. So I really see that synergy between these two programs. So I'm excited to hear what Jess has to say on the webinar. This is a summer program that runs, and you have to apply to get in. Not everybody gets to go, but what's kind of cool about it is you go and stay at a Canadian university, and they're across Canada, so it might be a destination. You might be heading out west or out east, or a variety of locations, and meet a number of other super interesting people. And you have a task that you work on, and Jess will tell you all about it next week. But I think you'll be interested to hear more about that. So I think I'm going to sign off. I'm going to check one more time for questions and see if we have any questions in here. We have a few people here with us tonight. I don't see any questions. Well, we were so informative, I understand. And so I would just say watch for the information through FIRST Canada. I know it was on their Facebook page today, and it'll come in the blast. Look for this webinar and any webinar up on the FIRST Robotics Canada YouTube channel, so you can get any information that you might have missed or that you would like to find out. So I'm going to sign off tonight, short and sweet, let you get back to all the other things you have to do in life. And thanks again.